I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. Last week we had an open forum, and one of the topics that was suggested through the open forum was a better understanding of proper sponsoring and placement techniques. And it was a nice match because this is an extremely important topic. It's so important that in our Synergy Family Business Plan, we have a video that is designed to help our distributors better understand how to properly sponsor and place people in their organization so that you can maximize the potential for basic commissions. You can maximize your potential for mega matches on the basic commissions of those people that you've sponsored. You can create greater organizational value so that you can get into leadership bonuses faster. Plus, it helps you to properly utilize bank volume for not only yourself, but also for the people that you bring into Synergy Worldwide as they grow their left and right sides of their organization and they create bank volume. When they use that bank volume, then that increases their basic commissions, and then your mega matches on those increased basic commissions, you benefit from that. So this whole aspect of proper sponsoring and placement is extremely important. And as we go through today's presentation, I first want to help you understand the basics of what we teach in our Synergy family. You can decide whether you want to use this or not. And then we'll also show you what to do if you've got one leg that's greater in volume than another. There's people on this morning's call here that have been in Synergy Worldwide for a period of time, and you may have a left side or a right side that is your strong leg, and that strong leg would be very hard for you to overcome, meaning that you build your weak leg to the point where you can overcome the volume that's in your strong leg to be able to start utilizing the bank volume that you've accumulated in your strong leg. However, there is a technique of using the sponsoring and placement. The things that we try and teach in sponsoring and placement where you can strengthen your weak leg. And we'll show you that in today's presentation. And then the last thing I hope to be able to cover today is the importance of teaching the Elite Honors program as your core building block, not just for yourself, but for each person that you personally sponsor into Synergy Worldwide, helping them make that their core business building block to their Synergy business, because it really makes a significant difference in your organizational volume, which then means it makes a significant difference in your basic commissions and the mega matches that you're earning off of those people that you've personally sponsored. Now, Synergy Worldwide is a pretty easy aspect to understand. When you come into Synergy Worldwide, you either came in with one tracking center or three tracking centers. So don't let the three tracking centers throw you off in what's going on. Everything revolves around your tracking center one. So you are at the top of your organization. You're in tracking center one. Your objective is to have the proper amount of volume on your tracking center one so that you can then earn basic commissions, mega matches, leadership bonuses, be in position for elite rebates. And Synergy now recommends that it be 120 CV of volume on preferably on a monthly auto ship to put you in position for success in this area. Or the other alternative is to go to the 150 mark, have 150 CV of volume on your monthly auto ship so that you're already in position to start earning elite rebates when either you purchase more procs personally and have it attached to your tracking center one, or when your preferred customers order their procs during the month, any preferred customer volume is tracked to your tracking center one. And when you look at it, you're going to sponsor people into your organization either on your left or your right-hand side. And what we want to do is we want to be able to give you a sponsoring and placement technique so that what doesn't happen to you is what happens to many people. And before we look at that, it's important to understand that in the dual linear mega match compensation plan that Synergy Worldwide has put together, it's based upon a left side and a right side. There is no cap to the depth of either leg, which means that you can grow your left side as deeply as you want to. You can grow your right side as deeply as you want to. And there are no breakaways, meaning that if you've sponsored a person in your left-hand side, they have the opportunity to become even more successful in Synergy Worldwide than what you might be. Success being termed greater volume. They go to work, they create a huge organization. That volume may surpass your total volume when you add both your left and right hand sides. But the nice thing about it is, unlike in some compensation plans where when a person reaches a certain level of achievement, they end up breaking away from your organization and you then lose all that volume that they're creating, that does not happen in Synergy Worldwide. People that you've sponsored, people that they've sponsored, if you sponsor a person on your left-hand side, they stay there. Any people that they sponsor are going to be on your left-hand side. Any of the people that they continue to sponsor are going to be on your left-hand side, and they're going to grow your left-hand side and grow the organizational volume on your left-hand side. So you don't have to worry about breakaways in Synergy Worldwide, and you don't have to worry about caps to the depth of your organization. And understanding the basic aspect of what we call basic commission, at the end of the month, the side left or right that has the smallest amount of volume is called your lesser or weak leg, and Synergy pays you basic commissions on that. You know, Synergy will talk about in their policies and procedures that it's 10% commission minus adjustments. So what I typically do is I always use 7% as a percentage to figure basic commissions when I do illustrations, because I've never seen it less than that. It's usually higher than that, but it fluctuates. And so I just use 7% because it's an easy way to multiply. And here's the common problem that a lot of new people make. They only build one side of their organization. They only build either their right side or their left side. And in this example that I show you here on the screen, a person who's come into Synergy Worldwide, they've concentrated on building the outside of their right leg. And we come to the end of the month, and they've got 1,000 CV of volume on their right-hand side, and on their left-hand side, they've got 0 CV. Now, they have a growing organization, they have volume, but unfortunately, they're not going to get paid anything because the basic commission is paid on the weak leg volume, and in this case, that volume is 0, and 7% of 0 will always be 0. So they'll never get any basic commissions, and you as a person who sponsored that individual, you'll never be able to derive any mega matches off of their basic commissions because they're not earning any basic commission. Now that means two things. One, it means that you need to teach your new distributors how to properly sponsor and place so that it doesn't happen to them. And if you do that, not only do they derive a benefit, but you also derive the benefit because you're going to mega match dollar for dollar whatever their basic commission is, up to the threshold of $20,000 a month. So it's extremely important that not only do you apply this to yourself, proper sponsoring and placement techniques, but you begin to learn how to teach this down through your organization, first starting with distributors that you may have in your existing Synergy business who are actually active, and teaching them this sponsoring and placement technique so that you can help them strengthen their Synergy business, which means that you're going to benefit as they gain higher basic commissions. You're going to gain a mega match off of that. But also as you sponsor people in the Synergy Worldwide, you want to begin to teach them this principle, this technique right from the beginning so that they can have success in earning basic commissions, which you then mega match off of. Now, in today's presentation, we want to teach you the sponsoring and placement technique, and what we do is we think in units of 3. And there's a reason for this. And as you sponsor people, the question is, where do you place your first 3 new people? And then once you've got 3 people into your organization, as you continue to sponsor, where do you place the next 3 people? And then the next 3 people, and then the next 3 people. So it's always looking at units of 3, and how do you properly sponsor those 3 people within your Synergy organization so that you can maximize the ability to create basic commissions as well as to empower other people that you've sponsored into Synergy Worldwide to strengthen their organization that benefits them through higher basic commissions, which also then benefits you through higher mega matches. And this is what we would suggest as a rule of thumb. Sponsor your first person on the outside of your weak leg, sponsor your second person on the outside of your strong leg, and sponsor your third person on the outside of your weak leg. And follow that rhythm in terms of how you put people into your organization. The first person, outside weak leg, second person, outside strong leg, third person, outside weak leg. So you're always putting 2 people out of every 3 on the outside of your weak leg and putting 1 person on every 3 on the outside of your strong leg. When you work this, you're going to strengthen your weak leg, which is going to help you earn higher basic commissions, which your sponsor, if they're properly qualified on their Tracking Center 1, are going to mega match. So it benefits you, benefits your sponsor, and if your sponsor is someone underneath you, benefits that person as well as it benefits you. Now, as we all understand in our synergy compensation plan, a mega match is a dollar-for-dollar match on the basic commission of anyone you have personally sponsored. And it doesn't matter whether they're 1 generation from you or they're 100 or 1,000 generations below you. It doesn't matter whether they're on your left side or your right side, and it doesn't matter whether they're in your weak leg or your strong leg. As long as you've sponsored them and you're properly qualified on your Tracking Center 1 and they earn a basic commission, then you will then earn a mega match, which means that if you've sponsored 1 person, you have the potential for 1 mega match. If you've sponsored 10 people, you have the potential for 10 mega matches. If you've sponsored 100 people, you have the potential for 100 mega matches. Now, if you sponsor 100 people and you use a sponsoring and placement technique like we're teaching you, you will strengthen your organization and strengthen every person that you've sponsored to maximize this ability to be able to earn higher basic commissions and mega matches and leadership bonuses and utilize bank volume properly. Now, what happens when you have a new distributor who comes into your organization? They don't yet have a weak or strong leg. All they have is a Tracking Center 1, or if they came in with 3 tracking centers, they have a Tracking Center 1, a Tracking Center 2, and a Tracking Center 3. But there's no volume on 2 and 3. And so you just look at their main Tracking Center 1 to figure this out. What would be the technique that we would suggest? We would suggest sponsoring the first person on their outside left, sponsoring the second person on their outside right, and then that third person they would sponsor on whatever would represent their weak leg at that time. And then once they've started that process, first person outside left, second person outside right, and then the third person on the outside of their weak leg, they would then follow the sponsoring and placement technique that we're teaching, where the next 3 people that they bring into their synergy organization, they would look to sponsor that first person on the outside of their weak leg, the second person on the outside of their strong leg, the third person on the outside of their weak leg, and then continue to repeat this process. Weak leg, repeat. Weak leg, strong leg, weak leg, repeat. Is that, hopefully that sounds pretty simple. So let's look at it in terms of an actual application. All right, I just came into Synergy Worldwide. I came in with 150 CV. So I bought a Jumbo Jar Plus 1, and that gave me the 150 CV that I need to as my activation order. And I've been talking to Joe, and Joe decides that he wants to join me in the Synergy business, and so Joe does what I did. He comes in with a Jumbo Jar Plus 1 of mixed berry, and where would I put Joe? Again, because I'm new to Synergy Worldwide, I'm going to put Joe on the outside of my left leg. And I've been talking to Fred, and Fred believes that he is able to move a lot of product because he's got experience in terms of what I call traditional business, and so he comes in with a 12-pack of Mixed Berry Protein Plus. And where would I put Fred? Well, Fred is the second person I've sponsored, and I'm going to then put Fred on the outside of my right leg. And now I've got Joe on my left, Fred on my right, and I've also been talking to a lady by the name of Wilma. And she lives with the Flintstones, and they've decided that, hey, they want to come into this whole process. And so Wilma, like Fred, feels that she has a large enough database of people that she knows that she would be able to market Protein Plus fairly effectively. And so she decides to do exactly what Fred did. She comes in with a 12-pack of mixed berry boxes Fred came in with a 12-pack of mixed berry canisters. Wilma, her clientele do a lot of traveling, so she sees the boxes as beneficial that they could take that when they go on to their different trips, their business trips. And so Wilma comes in, and where would I put Wilma? Well, again, at this point in time, I've got one person on my left, one person on my right, so that third person I'm going to put on the outside of my weak leg. That would be my left-hand side. So I'm going to sponsor Wilma on the outside left of Joe. Not the right side of Joe, but the outside left. It's always outside left, outside right. Always outside left, outside. The outside of your weak leg, the outside of your strong leg. Because what you're doing is you're helping that person that's above them begin to help them grow their synergy business. I've just placed volume on Joe's left-hand side. So if Joe becomes active in the business and he sponsors his first person and Wilma's already there, well, where is Joe going to place his first person? He's going to place that person on the outside of his weak leg, which in this case would be his right leg, and he would now earn a basic commission, which you would then sponsor off. But let's say that Joe doesn't do that. We get to the end of the month, and my strong leg is now my left-hand side with 450 CV of volume. My weak leg is my right-hand side with 300 CV of volume. I earned a basic commission of about $21, 7%, and I banked 150 CV of volume on my left-hand side that as I use the sponsoring and placement technique and help keep my two sides balanced, I can begin to flip my left and right-hand sides between weak and strong legs. Again, until you actually go through the experience, you don't know what will happen, but we'll give you some examples of this. So let's come back here, and I continue to sponsor because I want to be Elite Honors Qualified, and I want to build a significant organization in Synergy worldwide. So Barney decides to come in, and he's doing exactly what Wilma and Fred did. He comes in with a 12-pack. Now, Wilma and Fred and Joe, I met with them, I talked with them, we established their monthly auto ships so that they're properly qualified on their Tracking Center 1, and they've all decided to get a configuration of products that are best for their personal health use, and it's 150 CV of volume for each one of them. And I look at my volume going into the month, and I've got 300 CV of volume on my left-hand side. I've got 150 CV of volume on my right-hand side. So when Barney's ready to come in, I'm following the sponsoring and placement technique of putting my next person of my 3 on the outside of my weak leg. In this case, my right-hand side is my weak leg, so I place Barney on the outside of my right leg, which is the outside of Fred. Now, Fred gets excited. He's got volume. He sees that I'm following through with what I tell people that I'm going to do, that as I sponsor and place people, I'll be helping to put people into your organization on the outside of, if you're on my right side, on the outside of your right leg, and if you're on my left side, on the outside of your left leg. So Fred talks, and Bob is his personally sponsored new distributor, and Bob comes in and does exactly what Fred did. He gets a 12-pack, 300 CV. Where is Fred going to place Bob? Well, because Fred has volume on his right-hand side, the first person that Fred sponsors, he's going to put on the outside of his weak leg, which is in this case his left side. So that's where Bob goes. Now, because you've been following a sponsoring and placement technique, you help strengthen Fred's organization, his right-hand side. So now that Fred is bringing a new person on and following the same sponsoring and placement techniques, he's placed Bob on the outside of his weak leg, which then derives for Fred a basic commission, which at the end of the month, you'll mega match. You helped strengthen Fred's organization. Now let's continue with this. And I've been talking to Jean, and she's ready to come in. And where am I going to place Jean? Well, if I look at Barney, Fred, and Bob at 750 CV of volume, and I look at my left-hand side with Joe and Wilma at 300, where do I place my second person? On the outside of my strong leg. So I'm going to place Jean on my outside right. That benefits Barney, and that benefits Fred. And I continue to look at things, and Judy comes in, and Judy decides to come in with 300 CV as her activation order. She's my third person that I brought into Synergy Worldwide, and I'm going to place Judy on the outside of my weak leg. I'm following the sponsoring and placement technique of first person outside weak leg, second person outside strong leg, third person outside weak leg. Now, placing Judy on the outside of my left-hand side strengthened Wilma and strengthened Joe. All right, added volume to both of their outside left. Now, Wilma gets excited and she starts talking, and Tom decides to come in. Wilma now has volume on her left-hand side, so the first person that she sponsors, because she already has volume, she's going to place that person on the outside of her weak leg, which in this case is her right side. And we continue this process, and so Wilma's got another person named David, and he comes in with 150 CV volume. Where's Wilma going to place David? Second person outside of her strong leg. Judy, her 300 CV of volume made the left side her strong leg. Even though Tom came in, his volume was only 150 CV, so Wilma's going to place David on the outside of her left leg. And as we continue, she's got another person, Philip, who comes in, and where is she going to place Philip? On the outside of her weak leg. So outside weak leg, outside strong leg, outside weak leg. And what did that do for her? That strengthened her organization and created a higher basic commission for her, which you will then be able to mega match. Now, Fred is quietly going about introducing nitric oxide therapy and the ability to have a home-based business that can actually create cash flow and be able to benefit the lives of people, and that resonates with Carol. You know, she wants to become what we're using for our organization is the Million Lives Project as the overriding marketing framework for everything that we're doing in 2017, and that resonates with Carol. She has a passion for helping people improve their health, and she'd like to have a home-based business in this area, and so she decides to join us in this mission, the Million Lives Project, getting this information about nitric oxide therapy or the upcoming microbiome product line from Synergy Worldwide into the hands of as many people as possible so that we can benefit them in their health. So Carol comes in with 300 CV. Where would Fred place Carol? Well, again, that's his second person that he sponsored, and he would place Carol on the outside of his strong leg, which at this time, he's got 600 CV on his right, 300 on his left, so his right-hand side is his strong leg. Carol goes on the outside right of Gene. He just strengthened Gene's organization and Barney's organization and Fred's organization, and Fred then brings his third person in, Kathy. Where is Fred going to sponsor Kathy? Again, outside of his weak leg. Look in threes. First person outside, weak leg. Second person outside, strong leg. Third person outside, weak leg. And you come to the end of the month, and your right-hand side, which was your weak leg last month, has now become your strong leg. And your weak leg, what is now your left-hand side, last month was your strong leg. This month is your weak leg. Now, remember, last month, because the left-hand side was your strong leg, and you had an extra 150 CV of volume when you compared the volume of your left leg to your right leg, and because you're properly qualified on your Tracking Center 1, Synergy Worldwide takes that bank volume and adds it to your weak leg. So instead of paying you a basic commission on 1,050 CV, they pay you a basic commission on 1,200 CV. So you earn an $84 basic commission, and your sponsor mega matches that. So not only did you earn more in basic commission, but your sponsor then earns a higher mega match because of that. And the other thing is, you just created 450 CV of bank volume on your right-hand side. And as you continue this process of helping you and your team properly use sponsoring and placement guidelines that help strengthen everyone in your organization, the ability to, especially in the beginning, to help each side maximize its growth and potentially flip back and forth between weak and strong legs, you can then harness bank volume to everyone's benefit. Because everyone that you've sponsored and everyone they sponsor, if they're applying the same technique, they're also then banking their own bank volume, that when their legs flip, Synergy then adds the bank volume back into their weak leg to pay them a higher basic commission, so that the person who sponsored them will also receive a higher mega match. Plus, that bank volume increases your overall organizational volume on that side when it's added back in, which means that if that side was your weak leg and all that bank volume from all the people who are following this proper sponsoring and placement technique, that could become some significant volume added at the end of the month. When they go to compute, Synergy usually waits about a week before they close off the previous month and then computes all these different things. That can make a significant difference in the amount that you're paid as bank volume is applied to increase your organizational volume and the ability to derive the benefits from that. Now, let's look at what it does for the people that you sponsored. I sponsored Joe. Well, Joe, unfortunately, hasn't done anything to grow his Synergy business. He has a lot of great volume on his left-hand side, but Joe has 0 on his right. So Joe didn't earn any basic commission, and I earned no mega match off of it. However, for Fred, when the month closed, Fred had 600 CV of volume on his left and 900 CV volume on his right. And for Wilma, she had 450 CV of volume on her left and 300 CV volume on her right. So for Wilma, she earned a $21 basic commission, and I mega matched off of that. And for Fred, he earned a $42 basic commission, and I mega matched off of that. And when you add that back into my basic commission with my mega matches, my residual income stream went to $147. Now, that is not financial independence, but this is just the start of growing my Synergy organization. And this is the start of helping people understand proper sponsoring and placement techniques, that if you teach this and duplicate this down through your organization, as people replicate this process, you're going to see your basic commissions and your mega matches substantially increase because everyone's seeing the benefits from it. And it's just an aspect of continuing to apply this over time to strengthen your Synergy organization, to maximize organizational volume, bank volume, and the potential for basic commissions and mega matches and eventually leadership bonuses once your weak leg exceeds 6,000 CV of volume and you begin to tap into your strong side volume through leadership bonuses. Now, again, just as a review, sponsor your first person on the outside of your weak leg, sponsor the second person on the outside of your strong leg, sponsor the third person on the outside of your weak leg, and you've helped those underneath you create additional organizational volume, which then increases their basic commissions, which you end up mega matching. And as they apply the same sponsoring and placement guidelines, they'll be doing the same for those that are underneath them. Everyone wins, and you maximize the potential for basic commissions and mega matches, and you position yourself and those underneath you to harness the potential of bank volume. When you have a large organization doing this, this is extremely powerful in helping everyone to win. Now, what are the keys? Always look to sponsor 3 people and then repeat. First person, outside weak leg. Second person, outside strong leg. Third person, outside weak leg. Now, for those that are on the call today who've been in Synergy worldwide for a period of time, you may have one side, in this case I'm using the right side as your strong leg, and maybe you've got 25,000 CV of volume, or maybe you've just got 10,000 CV of volume, and you have very little going on your left-hand side. What we would suggest to you is that you find someone, preferably someone that you've actually sponsored, and say to them, hey, are you ready to build a significant Synergy business? 2017 is a prime time to get involved or reactivate in Synergy Worldwide. We've got the new websites coming through Oracle, which will make it so much easier for you to actually register people as preferred customers. And not just here in the United States, but in the new platform, you'll have your own Synergy Worldwide website identified to you and your ID number, that if you have people that you know in other countries where Synergy Worldwide operates, which currently is 28 different countries, you can send them your website. You can talk to them about nitric oxide therapy, or you can talk to them about microbiome, especially once the new product line gets introduced to everyone across the Synergy countries, the 28 different countries, and every country has the microbiome product line. And you can then say to them, hey, go on my website, choose the country that you live in. That shopping cart system will then come up to that country that they actually live in, and they'll be able to order product as a preferred customer and be able to have it product fulfillment through the Synergy product fulfillment centers in those different countries, all in their language, all in their currency, and the volume that is created through their orders are all tracked to your tracking center one. Which means that if you teach this whole aspect of marketing down through your organization, every person has the ability to increase their ability to attract preferred customers, consumers who want just the ability to order Synergy products. They have no inkling and no desire to be involved in network marketing, but definitely want to be able to improve their health through the Synergy products. You have the ability to give them that without any attachment to the business, but complete access to the Synergy products at wholesale pricing through the preferred customer program. So find someone on your weak leg that you personally sponsor and say, let's partner. Let's work together and use a sponsoring and placement technique that as we work together, I can help strengthen your organization so that you can get higher basic commissions, and then I'll be able to mega match off of those basic commissions. It's a partnership. It's a win-win for both of us. It's not a win-lose where, I'm gaining from your loss. No, I'm helping you win so that we can both win in this situation. And then partner with them and use the same sponsoring and placement technique of when either your partner or you bring in the first person, you look at their organization and say, okay, that first person is going to go on the outside of your weak leg. And then the second person that you collectively sponsor, that second person goes on the outside of your strong leg, and the third person goes on the outside of your weak leg. Now, if you sponsor someone, you are their sponsor. You're just going to place them in that person's organization. So make sure that that person's committed. What does commitment look like? Well, for me, I can't tell you what it looks like for you, but for me, it means that that person's on a monthly auto ship. And that person is going to go to work to effectively market either nitric oxide therapy, or when the microbiome product line comes online, microbiome research for improving gut health. They're going to choose a marketing strategy in the context of what we call the Million Lives Project, and you can certainly borrow the Million Lives Project. Everything that I'm showing you, we're making available to people. All you need to do is either subscribe to our YouTube channel, go to YouTube, Our Synergy Family, subscribe, because all the videos that we've redone are up there, or starting Monday on our Facebook channel, our Facebook page, Our Synergy Family, we'll begin to introduce this information to people in a systematic way to help them be able to utilize it to strengthen their Synergy organization, even if they're not part of our Synergy family. So make sure that that person that you're going to partner with is on a monthly auto ship and they are committed to deploying a marketing strategy. If they are not willing to market, then do not partner with them. Find someone else that you can partner with. And if you can't find someone in your existing weak leg, then start sponsoring. and use the sponsoring and placement techniques, and then find a new person that you've sponsored who you put in your weak leg, and then partner with that individual to say, let's go to work together, and we're going to combine our efforts in a sponsoring and placement technique. People that you sponsor, you're going to be their sponsor, but we're going to apply this technique. If you sponsor a person before I do, let's look at your organization. If that's the first person of our collective 3, we're going to put that person on the outside of your weak leg. And if I then sponsor the second person of the 3, we're going to put that person on the outside of your strong leg. And then if you sponsor the third person of the collective 3, we're going to put that person on the outside of your weak leg. And then we're going to repeat. So together we're going to continue this sponsoring and placement technique to help you strengthen your synergy organization, which helps you earn higher basic commissions, which then helps me mega match off of that, plus you're strengthening my weak leg, which means that all the volume that's created in your weak leg, you're going to benefit through a higher basic commission, which also means that your personal sponsor is going to benefit from that because their mega match is going to go up as long as they're properly qualified. Again, all this information is exactly what I've just told you. So it's a win-win partnership, which also helps you grow your weak leg faster. And maybe if your strong leg is low enough, you might be able to surpass your strong leg, where that weak leg then becomes your strong leg, and you'll then be able to capitalize on bank volume that's on your strong leg. And at some point in time, you may then want to revert back to the original sponsoring placement technique of first person on the outside of your weak leg, second person on the outside of your strong leg, third person on the outside of your weak leg. You can then still use that to help that person on your weak leg continue to see growth in their organization. Do I have any questions on anything that I've shared so far before I finish up here with why the Elite Honors Program is so critical to your success as well as turbocharging your basic commissions and mega matches? Any questions from anyone so far? All right, so if you do have a question, unmute yourself and interrupt me. Here's why teaching Elite Honors, you personally being Elite Honors qualified and teaching it down through your organization is so critically important, especially if you're using proper sponsoring and placement techniques. You're going to see greater organizational volume. You're going to see significantly higher basic commissions and mega matches off of those you personally sponsored. And you'll be able to benefit from the additional promotional money Synergy Worldwide has put into the Elite Honors Program through their Go Elite bonus money. Now, the Go Elite bonus program for 2017 is if you're personally Elite Honors qualified and you have 2 distributors that you've personally sponsored into Synergy Worldwide who are also Elite Honors qualified in the same month, then Synergy is going to add an extra $200 per month. Every time this occurs, you get an extra $200 in promotional money. Now, we're in January. That means that if you do this for every month in the year 2017, that's 12 months times 200, that would be an extra $2,400 of real dollars added to your commissions. Now, I don't have enough time, so just trust me on this example here. There's so many ways for you to compute the way that you need to be Elite Honors qualified, and we'll do the first Saturday of next month, February. We'll go back through the current Elite Honors Program and what's needed. It used to be 800 CV of volume attached to your Tracking Center 1. Now there's 3 levels to it, and the first level, which is the level that you need to be at, is 720 CV of volume. And there's a lot of different ways that you can make up that. In this case, what I'm showing you as an example is you're on a monthly auto ship for 150 CV. You brought 1 new distributor in this month that comes in with an activation order of 150 CV. And the remaining 420 CV that you need to have 720 CV attached to your Tracking Center 1 is 420 CV. And you're going to earn $105 off of that. You earned a $25 Fast Start bonus, so you earned $130. But what's important here is the amount of CV that's attached to your tracking center 1 that Synergy looks at for organizational volume to pay out basic commissions, mega matches, and leadership bonuses. And in this case, what happens through their way that they run the Elite rebate program, it would be 510 CV of volume. So just trust me that the number is correct. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, let's go back here and look at your organization. And your weak leg was 1,050 CV at the end of the month because no one was working towards being Elite Honors qualified. All they're looking to do is sponsor people into Synergy worldwide instead of looking to create their customer base as well as sponsor people into Synergy worldwide. So when you add that bank volume, there was 1,200 CV, and you got paid a 7% commission on it. You earned an $84 basic commission. And you earned mega matches of $21 and $42, so your total earnings, not counting leadership, not counting the Go Elite program, because no one here is qualified to be Elite Honors qualified. So your total earnings was $147. If you go back and you teach people to be Elite Honors qualified and get to the minimum level, level 1, of 720 CV on your tracking center 1, and everyone did it through the previous example, everyone would have 510 CV of volume attached to their tracking center 1. Same scenario. Now your left-hand side has jumped to 3,060 CV of volume. From 1,200 to 3,000. It's almost a threefold increase, and your basic commission jumped to $214.20. Wilma's basic commission jumped to $21.40. Fred's jumped to $21.40. You also earned the promotional money of $200, so your total earnings went from about $147 to $557. $410 more in earnings because you're teaching the Elite Honors program down through your organization. And when you apply this through exponential growth in your Synergy organization, these numbers pale in comparison to what it can be when you're teaching proper sponsoring and placement technique down through your organization and doing that with the aspect of helping people understand that everyone's goal is to be Elite Honors qualified. Now, let me get to one last slide here. All right. One of the things that we teach in our Synergy family is that you want to be able to create a customer base that will automatically qualify you every month to be Elite Honors qualified, as well as create cash flow for you, cash flow that would range from $300 to $500 every month. So what is the goal? Our core business goal as it applies to customers is acquire 10 customers, then repeat, acquire 10 customers, then repeat, acquire 10 customers, then repeat, until you get to the point where every month you have at least 10 customer orders per month. That is your goal, to get to 10 customer orders per month. And if you do that, your customers, their customer orders, and the CV that's created will always guarantee that you will be Elite Honors qualified, and will always guarantee that you will have cash flow coming into your Synergy business, anywhere from $300 to $500 every month. From a business building standpoint, what we teach is find 2 committed business builders that you've personally sponsored and help them be Elite Honors qualified. What is that being Elite Honors qualified look at? Build your customer base like a real business. And then you create your business story. If you're making $300 to $500 a month and you're also having a customer base where you're improving their health, you have a business story that you can share. Yeah, I have a fantastic home-based business. I'm improving the health of people. Like I've got one person that I've been working with through nitric oxide therapy, and her blood pressure was 160/90. Now that she's applied nitric oxide therapy, her blood pressure is 112/68. That is just one person of hundreds, or maybe of a lot of people that I've been able to begin to help bless their lives with better health. And you know what? It's also creating for me extra income. Right now, my extra income runs about $400 of positive cash flow to run my Synergy business. And it's just the start. I just got started with this. And as I am able to help other people who have a passion for health and would like their own home-based business that can produce positive cash flow that will benefit themselves financially and their family, I'm building an organization that is beginning to create for me a residual income stream. And as we continue to apply a specific building process, a business process, has the ability for all of us to win, where we can bless lives with better health and at the same time create a vibrant network marketing business. Would you like more information on how you could be a part of this? So we'll have most likely in February, we'll have a Saturday morning presentation to teach you how to have an effective elevator speech to acquire customers, and also how to have an effective elevator speech to attract business builders. So I'm at the top of, or I'm at the 9:47. So do I have any questions from anyone before we say goodbye from today's presentation? Tracy, you unmuted yourself.
I just like the clarification this way. It really makes sense to me where I didn't really understand it before. So thank you.
Okay.
You're always doing an awesome job.
Thank you. So you understand from now going forward, you need to be creating your customer base. You need to be attracting business builders, and when they come and join you in the Synergy business, where are you going to place the first person?
Yep. I have them. I was writing it all down because I have a right and left, and both have been elite honors, but they don't have, they have their customer base, but I don't have a good customer base myself, so I see where it all needs to go. So yeah, I have a lot of work, a lot of work to do. So.
Well, the whole purpose of the Saturday morning training programs going on for this year is to equip you and others in Synergy worldwide to grow your customer base, acquire your customers, create your business story, attract business builders, help them repeat the same process.
All right. Sounds good. I'm ready to go.
Great. Thank you, Tracy. Anyone else have any questions or comments before we say goodbye?
Yeah, Dan, this is Dr. Mark. I was curious, we'll have a replay of this?
I am recording it, so next Friday when the newsletter goes out, there'll be a link to the recording, and then, yes, so you'll have access to that recording.
Very, very good. Hey, and another thing I was going to ask you, is there some place a guy can get an elevator speech for business builders?
Yeah. I mean, why don't you just send me an email to remind me, and then I'll share with you the elevator speech that we teach for the business builders.
Hey, you're a gentleman scholar. I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Thanks. Thanks, Dr. Mark. Anyone else with any
Dan,
questions?
thanks.
Yes.
I just wanted to say thanks, Dan, and for clarifying it, and just making us aware that we really need to look into the back office and see what's going on, and just not automatically place people, because that could be to our detriment. But if we know who is doing what and we can help them, it helps us. And
yes.
We can go into our back office and have it automatically put into place, but that's not always the best way. We have to look at what's going on. It's a formula, but it's a formula with variables.
Sure. And again, the formula is the same. You just look at your variables to see how you apply it.
Exactly.
Thanks, Judy.
Thanks.
Anyone else before we say goodbye?
Dan,
Yep.
this is Tammy.
Yes, Tammy.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know this was such an excellent way of explaining how to properly place people, because I wish I would have known that when I became part of Synergy, because I just didn't understand it, and I always put it on the back burner. It's like, you know what, I don't even want to think about this because it's very confusing. But I started realizing how everything worked when I started building my team. But this is an excellent way for those who haven't built their team yet. That way they could actually understand that it's really, truly a team-building organization.
Yes, the Synergy Compensation Plan is all based upon teamwork. The sponsoring and placement technique that we just shared with you is also based upon teamwork. And the more that we work as a team, the better we all benefit. It's a win, win, win for everyone. Thanks, Tammy. Anyone else before we say goodbye?
Hello, Dan. It's Donald.
Yes, Donald.
I just want to, again, thank you for delving into this, because not to confuse things, there was an experienced network marketer who brought his old way of doing things into Synergy, and he placed people on his left side, right side, inside left, inside right, and as it worked out, he wasn't making any money. Yes, he had a number of business builders, but his monthly was, you know, very minimal. So if this was implemented with him, he would have seen a lot of residual income. So I want to thank you for delving into this.
You're welcome. Yes, I know the person you're talking about, and sometimes people have opinions that you can't change.
Right, true, Dan. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else before we say goodbye? All right, I want to thank everyone for your time this morning. Again, it has been recorded. The recording will be made available in next Friday's newsletter that goes out, as well as it will be posted up on the YouTube channel for our Synergy family. So go to YouTube, type in the search term area, our Synergy family. You'll see our logo. Make sure that you subscribe, and that way when the videos are put up, you'll get a notification of the new video, and all this information is available to you, as well as if you have not yet liked us on Facebook, go to Facebook. Again, Our Synergy Family. So it's facebook.com/Our Synergy Family, and like us so that as we post this information, you know, you'll have access to it. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Saturday. Bye-bye now.